Hey everybody, my name is Mike Montgomery, and today I'm going to be doing my second Q&A video. Let's get started. Just so y'all know, I'm going to be pulling questions from my last Q&A video as well as from my Instagram. Alright, question number 1. Jose Duran asked me, how did I come up with my name, Modern Builds? To be honest, that actually wasn't my first name. I'd come up with a whole list, I think like 10 different names that I could name my channel. After that, I went online to a domain search to see what names I would actually be able to get the .com for. Modern Builds was actually my third choice, but the first two ideas I had, the website wasn't available for them, so I couldn't use them. In the end though, I'm pretty happy that actually happened because Modern Builds is a great name. Number 2, what camera do I film on? I film on a Sony a65. I'll put an Amazon link below just so you can check it out. This camera is a couple years old and you can find them pretty cheap on Craigslist used. I got quite a few questions on when t-shirt pre-orders are gonna ship. I'm gonna leave pre-orders open for one more day, so if you either want a black or a gray Modern Builds t-shirt for $15 instead of $20, once I get them printed, make sure and check out this link right here. After that one day, I'm sending them off to get printed. It should take 5 to 8 business days and I'll ship them as soon as I get them back. I wanna give a huge thanks to everyone that did order them. I've gotten a lot more orders than I was expecting, which is awesome. So that just shows how awesome you guys are. I appreciate it. All right, next, Dylan Wise asked me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good am I at math? It's kind of a weird question, but I'll answer it. To be honest, I always thought I was pretty good at math until I took calculus my junior year, and I got a D in it, so I guess not that good. This next question is a comment that I get all the time on my videos, and it's basically, what are 5 tools that I would recommend to start woodworking? Now, obviously, this is gonna depend on what kind of projects you wanna do, but I kinda made a list on things that I think are really useful. Number 1 is just a handheld circular saw. You can do everything that you can do on a chop saw with one, as well as everything you can do on a table saw with one. It's just not quite as convenient. Number 2, you need something to sand with. Sanding sucks enough as it is, and sanding by hand is awful. Now, number 3 is just a handheld drill. You don't have to go crazy. My first drill literally cost me $15 from Harbor Freight. Obviously, I really prefer my Ryobi drill and drivers that I've been using lately, but you can still get it done with cheaper tools. Now, number 4 is a tool that a lot of people hate, a lot of people love, and that is a jigsaw. Not everyone uses one, and not everyone needs one, but they come in really handy if you need to cut curves. If most everything you're doing is straight work, then don't worry about that recommendation. You don't need it. Fly. And then my 5th recommendation is something you probably wouldn't expect, and that is a belt sander. It is oddly enough one of the most used tools I have. It's great for flattening projects if you don't have a big planer, and it's also great for fixing mistakes. It's something that you can be really good with if you practice with it a lot. Number 6, what's my favorite TV show? Hands down, The Office. Cut my best show that's ever been made. A lot of people have been asking me, especially recently, about Patreon. Now, it's something that I've definitely thought about, but I'm not sure how people would react to it. If you're not familiar with it, it's essentially the concept of Kickstarter, but with ongoing content creation. Now, pretty much all the big names in YouTube woodworking do it. Channels like I Like to Make Stuff, Jimmy DiResta Make Something, and it's an awesome way to help fund your channel without a ton of advertising. One of the really cool things about it is the same way you get Kickstarter rewards for pledging a certain amount of money, you can get rewards for donating a certain amount of money per month. And that's where I've kind of gotten hung up on the whole idea, is I don't want to just do a weekly Patreon vlog, and I don't want to just give out my videos a couple days earlier. I would want to do something really, really cool for the people that support me on Patreon. Now, right here I have a poll, and it basically says that if I were to do Patreon, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think you're someone that would contribute? And if you are one of those people, leave me a comment on what some really cool rewards, prizes, whatever they're called, could be, because I want it to be something that you guys would be really into. All right, number 8. This one's a really good question. Do I enjoy the building process or the end result more? I am definitely the end result kind of guy. My 2 favorite things are coming up with the idea and then finally seeing it realized. Usually really late at night, some kind of inspirational hit me and I'll draw out some kind of idea that I have, and that's always super exciting. A lot of times though, the actual building process is a total headache. Not necessarily in a bad way, but just in the fact that whenever you're building something for the first time, you usually run into all kinds of problems. But actually seeing the project when it's done and seeing what you envisioned in reality is the coolest thing in the world. All right, number 9, how do you start a woodworking channel? Well, it's pretty easy. Basically, all you gotta do is build something and film yourself doing it. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it, but if you are somebody that wants to start a woodworking channel, just do it. Your first video probably isn't gonna be great. Mine really wasn't, and I feel like my videos are constantly progressing and getting better, and that's what's gonna happen. I really wasn't happy with the first videos that I was putting out, but it was the best I could do at the time, and over time, you'll progress and you'll get better. Here's another good question. What is your dream project? hands down, it's building an Ames lounge chair. They are absolutely beautiful, but it is way beyond anything I feel like I could do right now. There's bent lamination, metal fabrication, as well as upholstery. 3 things that I've really never done. Hopefully next year I will build one. I want it to be the side project that I do whenever I have free time. I don't think I can dedicate a whole week to it just because I think there's a really high risk of failing. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I will do it eventually. I hope. And then my last question is, what are my favorite female builders on YouTube? First off, I would have to say Lynn at Darbin Orver. It's a killer channel. She has awesome projects, and I really like the way that she uses hand tools all the time. I want to be able to get to where I can do that as well. Laura Kampf is also really awesome, as well as April Wilkerson, as well as a channel called Get Hands Dirty. All of those are really cool channels, and I'll link them below. Alright, so that is all the questions I'm going to be answering today. It is really hot, and I don't want to get too sweaty, so make sure and hit that thumbs up if you enjoy Q&As. I think I'm going to be doing one a month from now on. I don't want to do too many too often. And if you have any questions for my next Q&A video, leave a comment in the description of this video. I'll also be asking for more questions on my Instagram, so if you want to follow me, that is awesome, and you'll be able to keep up with me throughout the week as well. So thanks a lot guys for watching, and we'll see you in a few days with a project video on Modern Builds.